Imagine a World Cup. Before the tournament even begins, the trophy disappears. The police get involved, ransom letters are sent, and the entire country is thrown into panic. Then, in the end, one of the most valuable trophies in football history is not found by a detective, not by a special police unit, not even by a person. It is found by a dog. The 1966 World Cup was not just a story of victory for England. It was a tournament filled with a mysterious robbery, an unexpected four-legged hero, and one of the most controversial goals in football history. England, often called the birthplace of football, won its first and only World Cup in 1966 on home soil. But what made this tournament unforgettable was not just the trophy lifted in the final. The real story began in London, months before the tournament even started. There were only a few months left before the 1966 World Cup. The Jules Rimet Trophy, the most prestigious prize in football, had been brought to Westminster Central Hall in London, where the public could see it before the tournament. Made of solid gold, this trophy was more than just an award. It represented a nation's dream, the passion of millions, and the biggest stage in football. But on Sunday, March 20th, 1966, something happened that no one expected. While a church service was taking place inside the building, the trophy vanished. Despite the security around it, it simply disappeared. It was as if someone had walked in, taken the trophy, and vanished without leaving a trace. The English Football Association was thrown into a major crisis. The tournament was getting closer, and the most important trophy in world football was missing. Scotland Yard launched an investigation, but there were almost no clear clues. Then, not long after, the story became even stranger. The police received a ransom letter signed by someone calling himself Jackson. The letter demanded £15,000 in exchange for the return of the trophy. The police set up a trap. The man who came to collect the money was arrested. But the problem was still not solved, because the trophy was still missing. A full week had passed since the trophy was stolen. Then, on March 27th, an ordinary walk in South London was about to become one of the strangest moments in football history. A worker named David Corbett had taken his black and white mixed-breed dog, Pickles, out for a walk. At first, everything seemed completely normal, until Pickles became interested in a package lying near some bushes by the side of the road. The package was wrapped in an old newspaper. At first, Corbett had no idea what he was about to find, but when he opened it, he was stunned. In his hands was the Jules Rimet Trophy, the same trophy the entire country had been searching for. The World Cup had been found. But it was not discovered by trained police officers, not by detectives. It was found by an ordinary dog, simply following its nose. When Corbett took the trophy to the police, they found it hard to believe him at first. But soon, the truth became clear. The missing trophy had really been found, and England had been saved from a major embarrassment. Pickles suddenly became the most famous dog in the country. He appeared in newspapers. He was invited onto television shows. He received awards. He even later appeared in a film called The Spy with a Cold Nose. After England won the World Cup, Pickles was also invited to the celebrations. He was given a medal and a year's supply of dog food. By then, he had become one of the strangest heroes in football history. With the trophy finally found, England could breathe again. But the real test was still waiting on the pitch. England made it all the way to the final. Their opponent was West Germany. The date was July 30th, 1966. The place was Wembley Stadium. Around 98,000 people were in the stands, and hundreds of millions more were watching the final on television. This was not just another final. For England, it was the biggest opportunity in their football history. But West Germany was a strong team, a team that never gave up until the very end. After 90 minutes, the score was 2-2. The World Cup final was going into extra time, and in the 101st minute, the moment that would divide football history happened. England's star striker, Geoff Hurst, controlled the ball inside the penalty area and fired a powerful shot. The ball smashed against the crossbar. Then it bounced down onto the ground. And in that moment, everyone was asking the same question. Had the ball crossed the line? The English players began to celebrate, but the German players immediately protested. In their view, the ball had never fully crossed the line. The Swiss referee, Gottfried Dienst, was unsure, so he turned to his linesman. That linesman was Tofik Bahramov, an Azerbaijani official representing the Soviet Union. Thousands of people inside Wembley and millions watching around the world waited for the decision. Dienst asked Bahramov whether the ball had crossed the line. It is said that Bahramov did not speak English or German, but when it came time to make the decision, he did not hesitate. He nodded. He pointed toward the center circle. Goal. England were 3-2 ahead. That decision became one of the most controversial moments, not only in that match, but in football history. After that goal, West Germany suffered a huge psychological blow. Near the end of extra time, Geoff Hurst scored once more. The match ended 4-2. England had won the World Cup on home soil, and it remains the first and only World Cup title in the country's history. Tofik Bahramov's decision was debated for years after the match. Some believed the ball had crossed the line, others believed it had not. But one thing never changed. That decision created one of the greatest moments in England's World Cup history. After that match, Bahramov became an unforgettable name in world football. He was honored by Queen Elizabeth II, and in Azerbaijan, he was treated with great respect. One of the country's most important stadiums was named after him. A statue of Bahramov was also built in front of the stadium in Baku, and with that, he became one of the first referees in football history to have a statue made in his honor. Years later, in 2004, when the England national team traveled to Baku for a World Cup qualifying match, English fans and football officials visited Bahramov's statue. Among them was Geoff Hurst, the hero of the 1966 final. They laid flowers in front of the statue. And even almost 40 years later, the English had not forgotten to thank him for that decision. Hurst once said about Bahramov, "He was a wonderful referee. He never doubted his decision for a single moment. For me, he will always remain a legend." And so, the 1966 World Cup was remembered as much more than the tournament England won. It was remembered for a stolen trophy, for Pickles, the dog who found it, and for Tofik Bahramov, the linesman whose single nod changed football history. Sometimes, football history is written by great players, sometimes by a referee, and sometimes by a small dog simply following its nose.